This is a Sandy Boy Productions podcast.
I ran my first marathon to the day of when I went into the hospital, and I carried Oliver over the finish line.
Welcome to Finish Lines and Milestones, a podcast for everyday runners. I'm your host, Allie Bretnacher, and if you run, you're a runner, and every runner has a story. Join me each week as I share these stories and we celebrate finish lines and milestones together. This week's episode is brought to you by Relay Active. Funny enough, at the start of this episode, Angela and I talk about when it's time to get new sports bras, and one of my most favorite brands to shop for sports bras is Relay Active. It is an activewear brand that is made for women and made for running. It is a small, woman-owned business. 1% of all orders go to animal rescue. What more could you want? The fabric is super high quality, buttery soft. They have unique mix and match colorways. A lot of them are tie-dye. Those are my favorite sets. And if you use code Milestones, you can get 15% off of your order. This is probably a good reminder for myself as the spring season hits that I need to upgrade and get rid of some of the sports bras I've had for years. Dare I admit that? Well, if you want to shop Relay Active, you can go to relayactive.com. Again, code Milestones. Thank you, Relay Active, for supporting this podcast. And now for this week's episode, I have guest Angela Kumar. Angela is one of the first 4 women to run 100 miles in a backyard ultra in the state of Indiana. She did that last September. And so I've had these women on my radar. For those who hadn't already been on my podcast, Sarah Farney, who we talk about quite a bit in this episode, has already been on. But the 3 other women I am interviewing in hopes of sharing those stories with you, I find it so incredibly inspiring, these women who run so far. And so we talk a lot about that. We talk about how Angela got into running, ran her first Boston 18 years ago, and kind of what running was like back then compared to her running journey now, being a mom of 2, and how she fits it into her life. And we talk about mental health and finding and maintaining the joy of running. I hope you really enjoy this conversation with my friend Angela Kumar. Welcome, Angela. Hi. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
I actually showered before this, which is a miracle.
I did a workout this morning, and I thought I should shower, but I didn't wash my hair, but that's okay.
I'm so jealous that you don't have to wash your hair.
Well, that's so I just put a quick roll through it, yeah. But you know what was funny is I was opening my drawer, and you know your workout drawer, you're like, oh, it's time to replace clothes. Like that's what I realized today. I was like, okay, maybe we're not going to wear those. We'll find a sweater to wear instead.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Well, I mean, I don't know. The mileage you put on, Angela, I'm sure your clothes have been through it.
I feel like I'm a creature of habit too, so I still wear the same ones over.
Yeah, I do that too. How often do you replace your sports bras? This is not where I thought we would start, but I'm curious.
Well, I don't actually replace them that often because I don't wear one.
Oh.
I don't wear one.
Nice.
I don't wear one. I wear so many layers so that I don't have to.
Okay.
So when I run, like people make fun of me all the time. I don't really care. I wear a t-shirt, a long sleeve, a fleece, and usually a sweatshirt over that. And even in the summertime, I always run in a sweatshirt. So
even in the summertime?
Mm-hmm. I think that's why I like 8 hours so much because it's so hot. But I've done all my training in the heat. So.
Wow, I wish I could handle the heat.
Mm-hmm. So I only wear sports bras like when I have to, like during races.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm in dire need of replacing some of my clothes. Well, I'm so glad we finally got to do this.
I know. Do you know I remember the first time I met you? Do you remember?
I don't know where it would have been. Where was it?
Okay. It was the Monumental Mile.
Okay.
My coach, Sarah, wanted me. It was right after I qualified for Boston. My friend Sarah and I qualified, and we went to lunch with Sarah and Tracy, and they needed a new mile time. And they're like, you should just go out and do this mile. I would rather run a marathon than run that mile that fast, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I was there, and I had a roll of toilet paper because I was so nervous.
Yes, I do remember that.
And the butt wipes, I take them everywhere with me now. They have saved me in so many occasions.
That's so funny.
I bought them right then and there. Like while we were talking, you were talking about, I remember looking on Amazon. I bought myself one and I bought a box for Sarah.
Yeah, that is so funny. I absolutely do remember that. Yeah, it was at the expo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those butt wipes, I actually have them, or butt napkins. And I had some in my car actually this weekend. I gave one to my kid as a wet wipe because I was like, well, it's all I got.
It's all, right?
Works out.
I used it so much during Prairie. It's like I just kept them because, not this year, but the year before, because I just had to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well.
Runners understand.
Right?
Yeah.
I had done full mow once, and I remember I had to go, and I just kept looking at the leaves to see the size of them, to see where I'm willing to break. And I remember Pedro passed me, and I was like, keep going, dude, keep going.
Yeah, I'm going to need some privacy over here.
I did. I was like on the biggest leaves I could. And I'm like, you do what you can, and then you learn, and you never leave without a roll.
Yeah.
Wipes now.
Yeah. So shout out to Butt Napkins. Actually, I had their founder on this podcast. He's from Texas, I think. Yeah.
What made him create?
And he would have issues like you're in the porta potty and you're like sweaty and using the toilet paper in porta potties is like one ply.
Right.
So and you're sweaty. It's like the worst.
Yeah.
So he looked and there wasn't really a product out there. And so he's like, well, I'm going to create these. And now they have deodorant wipes as well. They have this kit called Code Brown, which is hilarious. I've almost bought for my dad as a gift, but yeah, it's brilliant.
That is a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
It just takes one thought.
Yeah. And you're like, now I can't live without it. Yeah.
Right.
I usually always have one in my pocket.
Isn't it funny though, like what comes out of all that? Because I remember when I first started using Loom, and I'm like, this is amazing.
Is
like,
are those the deodorant wipes?
That's a stick.
Okay.
I remember listening to Sally McRae's podcast,
Okay.
and so Loom was one of her things, and then you could find it at Target, and then I was like, okay. But then I felt like Dove came out with their spray, and everyone came out. I know, where was this 5 years ago?
We could have used this.
Yes, because deodorant was going in places I'm sure it should not have been going, but like, again, you do what you have to where you're at.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I cannot believe you're 50.
I'm
That's
almost
insane.
50. I'm probably 300.
I can't believe you're gonna be 50. That's insane.
Thank you. I don't feel that way, like especially mentally and how I ramble and talk. I mean, I was at my son's tea party at school. They had to learn fractions, and so they had to split things up. And anyways, I was so nervous, and I just started rambling, and we were talking about, it got to the point we were talking about musicals. And I take him to go see Wicked and all of these things.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that you're a big Wicked fan.
I love. And we took him to see Les Mis, and I was telling people at the table, I'm like, well, I have to cut liquids off at noon because otherwise I have to go to the bathroom. And so then we started talking about peeing, and my son's just like, can you not like do this? And
Mom.
But I just ramble, and so I don't feel 50, but I'm so close. 332 days now.
Oh, yeah, because you're January. Yeah. I turned 40 this July. So I just kind of wonder when I'll feel like a grown-up.
I hope I never do.
Yeah.
Right?
It's so weird. I look around at some of people I've grown up with professionally, and you're like, wow, we're really adults now. Like, we're really doing this.
We're in it. And there are times now, especially with running, where I don't feel 50, but I try to think about being 50 and older and how long to prolong the sport, right?
Yes.
Like you can't being a mom, you can't really get injured because who's going to do all the things that you do and everything, right? But also too, I'm like, you get one body in this world, so how am I going to take care of it? You know, and I read people on Strava or have group chats, and they're like, oh, my hamstring. I'm like, how do you do that? Like the PT in me knows like the longevity of that, but it's one of those, I'm like, okay, so I just have to be smarter about it because I don't want knee replacements. I don't want any of that. Yeah. So that's when I feel 50.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't.
And okay, so I've had Sarah Farney on this podcast,
Yes.
and I'm getting ready to also interview Tammy.
Are you?
So I will have all of the first four on this
love
podcast.
Yeah. Have you had Gracie too?
Oh, you know what? I have not. You're right. Oh yeah, Gracie.
But
how
see,
could I
that's
forget?
how, I mean,
I was thinking
that's
Fishers.
kind of,
I was like
right?
segmenting it in my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But in that, like that, like I feel like those are my girls. Like those are our like Carly, Michelle, Sarah, Tammy. I mean, like it's just my crew.
Yeah. When did you join Fishers Running Club?
I didn't join until Sarah was my coach.
Okay.
And I honestly didn't find Sarah's coach until our mutual friend Sarah. She improved her time so incredibly for the mini marathon. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And I had run Carmel that year, and I missed it. Let me backtrack. I did Boston a lifetime ago, right? And you just think like after you have kids, you can't do that anymore.
Right.
Like that's out of your scope. And then I missed what was the qualified time for Boston by like a minute and 40 seconds. And then I'm like, oh, now you can kind of taste it, right?
Yeah.
So then I found a coach. But I have always been really envious or the girl who wants to be invited onto the playground when it came to Fisher's Running Club, because they always showed up on social media or at races, and they have their tent and they're all cheering for each other, and you just want to be invited into the club. And so Sarah was my coach, and then Fisher's Running Club was doing a practice run at Prairie 2 years ago.
Okay.
And so then Alan was doing it as well. And I'm like, so what's it take? Like, do you have to live in Fishers to be part of Fisher's Running Club? And he's like, well, actually, you don't. And I'm like, okay, I will pay the initiation fee.
Yeah. Where do you live?
I live in Nora. So I live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't realize that.
So I don't make it to a lot of runs, but I love to be part of the chat. Like,
yes. The community they've built is just awesome.
They all support one another. I remember at 8 Hour this past year.
And we're going to have to tell people what all these races are now, too.
Okay.
About half of the audience is local.
Okay.
So some people might be like, what in the heck are you talking about? 8 Hour?
Yeah, it's a crazy race.
It's a crazy race. I haven't done that one yet. I went and spectated last year or the year before. I can't remember.
Last year was when it rained.
Oh, not last year then. It was the year before.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a crazy race. I wish I had been at that one because so many people I knew finally. Like, I've been a loner for so long. I remember 8 Hour was the first race that I think I got back into it with ultras. And I remember reading the email and it said, you could bring a tent. And I'm like, do you mean like a camping tent?
Right, like what? For what?
What is it? Like, I remember taking pictures and snapshotting to whoever is the director. And I'm like, this kind of tent are you talking about? And he was just like, well, yeah, like a tailgate tent. I'm like, why do we need one? I had no idea why.
Well, I mean, why would you?
You need that. And then I was the only one in my tent. And then you feel like that, you see just all the cool people. With
You're
all
like,
the
well,
friends.
I want friends.
I want running friends.
It's so much more fun with, your
and
crew. That's
that's what was fun about this year. Is like I wasn't on a team, but I could at least go chat with people.
Soak up the team.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
for people who don't know, 8 Hour is a race where it's 8 hours and you run as many miles as you can.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's teams.
Right.
Versus
individual.
solo. Yeah.
Right. And I find it so interesting because it's such, like, you have to flip your perspective, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so weird to me.
It's so weird. It's all comes down to, like which loop to do, how often. And I would go there and train because I don't live too far from it.
Right, that's it. It's on Butler University's campus.
And it's so pretty.
So pretty.
So pretty. And that was when I remember running that and people talking about trail shoes. And that was the first time I've ever heard about trail shoes. So I'm 47 years old. I never knew about trail shoes.
Yeah.
Until I'm like, what is that? What are they talking about? I remember I went out and I bought my first pair of trail shoes then.
I now own a pair too, which is funny because I don't do a lot of trail running.
Yeah.
But I didn't really realize. I'm like, why would you?
What's
that for?
Right.
And then you get it. And now I've used them. Well, actually only once, but I should have used them multiple times this winter because when it gets where it's snow covered and packed down, the trail shoes help with that too.
Yes.
So you're not like sliding all over the place.
Right.
Yeah.
I like to go to Eagle Creek once in a while and run trails there. I did the women's race there once. It's in summer and it's in August.
Oh, I don't know if I know which one that is.
And it was an all women's race. I had not done trail running, so I did 8 Hour. And then I hear about these trail shoes. Then I buy trail shoes. And then I call my friend Sarah and I'm like, do you want to do this race? And she's like, okay. And we did it. And it was a really good lesson of learning, like, you follow the ribbon on the floor and not the person in front of you.
Oh.
Because, like, I got lost for, like,
that's
half a mile.
Yeah, I would struggle, I think, if it wasn't marked well.
I have such mad respect for the people who do night trail running.
Right.
Because I can barely keep my feet off of the stump from tripping. There hasn't been a run I haven't fallen in, like on a trail. So I don't know how people do it at night, even with headlamps, Yeah,
well, and plus when you're like, I don't know, 50 miles in or whatever, being able to know what's going on at all is impressive.
Totally.
Yeah. So you said friend Sarah is different than Coach Sarah.
Yes.
What is your friend Sarah's last name?
Mamuska Morris.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I don't think I've ever met her.
She hasn't been running much. She does more like coastal stuff now.
Okay.
But we were on the board at our kids' school, so we got to know each other that way.
Okay.
And then she introduced me to Sarah, and I was really excited. Yeah.
Perfect.
I remember I felt like they were I was like an interview, for your coach. And
Yeah.
I'm like, God, I hope they take me on as a client.
Well, yeah, that's funny. Well, I bet they just have to gaze, okay, are we going to get along?
Right.
Because it is such a personal relationship.
It is. And I got one because I feel like I could get, I think I feel like I know I have never been diagnosed, but with an addictive behavior.
Yeah,
So
same.
I could run and not, like, there's no structure to it, right? So I would be running 20 miles a day, but not working toward any goal. And so my husband had said, like, you probably need a coach if you're going to continue this way. Like, you probably need
to
a
make
coach.
sure you're
Right.
doing it right and won't
Right.
get injured. And
Right.
Yeah.
And so I had a few friends that knew her. I didn't know her, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna love her."
Yeah.
And I always say, I'm like, I wish she was my neighbor.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah. It'd be so convenient.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. My coach, Rachel Cinders, lives like 2 miles from my house.
She just did Tokyo, right?
She's in Tokyo right now.
She's in right now. When is
Yeah.
that race?
March 1st or 8th? I can't
oh,
remember.
so she's there for.
Yeah, a whole week.
Okay.
A lot of people go there a whole week in advance, which I didn't realize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Her nephew goes to our school, and so I was talking to her sister-in-law. I'm like, I don't know your sister-in-law very well, but she's amazing.
Yeah, she really is. So that I'm excited to follow her and see how it goes for so many people.
Don't you find that so fun? I feel like now being part of Fisher's Running Club, I've met so many different people in
Yes.
different areas. And I don't look so much at their workout, but I treat it as Facebook almost, like
Right.
reading their journeys, you know, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not alone, you know,
Right.
like,
Yes.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so it's just fun to see people's runs, who had a great run, who doesn't. And I love it when people are real honest, like,
Right.
that
like, this sucked and I hated
right.
it.
Like, don't come telling me that's the best run
was
ever.
great. It was
Oh
a
my
great
God.
race.
Because we all know, like, so much of that is, well, I hope it is for them.
Right.
But, like, for most of us, that's not the case.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's so true.
Yeah.
So you mentioned running your first Boston a lifetime ago.
lifetime
And it really was.
Yeah.
How many years ago?
18.
18 years ago. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
18.
Yeah. So how did you end up getting into long distance running?
I, like, marathon?
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess that's a good point. I should specify.
Sorry. When I was in PT school, I was a runner only because my roommate, my best friend, was a runner as well.
Okay.
I shouldn't even say I was a runner. I wasn't a runner. She made me a runner. And, like, we would go, we lived on the canal or near the canal, so we would run the canal. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool, you know? But it wasn't something I went out and really did. When I graduated from PT school, I felt very sad and very depressed. And that's when I really started to run, because I remember I had moved right back to Indianapolis. I had one friend here, and I lived off of the Monon, and it was the only time I really saw people was on the Monon. And I'm like, okay, well, they're not my friends, but they kind of are, because I see them every day.
Right. The same people.
Right? And so
Yeah.
you're having these, I don't know, crazy conversations in your head. Like,
Right.
oh, they have new shoes on today. Or like, oh, their dog's limping. I wonder if the dog's, like all these.
It is funny.
But that's what
Yeah.
you do, you know? And when I would go out there, it'd be real sad. And I always use my analogy, like when I'm sad or when I'm feeling depressed, I go out there and I feel like a twig. And as my run goes on, my spirit picks up. And so then you get to like a branch, then a tree. And then when you get to that oak tree feeling, you're like, ooh, okay.
Okay. That
No,
helped.
and so then those miles just kept building, and it's like, oh, well, maybe I could do a race.
So what was your first? Did you do a half marathon first?
I went right into, well, did I? You know what I did? But I did it with friends, and so we did a walk run. I was just
Okay.
excited for them to come to Indianapolis and visit, right? Because
Okay,
like I'm
yeah.
living here by myself in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I just want more friends. So I did that. But then I think there went a few years where I didn't do anything, and then I think I just signed up for Chicago.
Okay. Yeah.
My sister was living there. My twin sister was living there. So we signed up.
So signed up for your first marathon. Do you remember how you trained?
Hal Higdon. I mean,
Yep,
doesn't everyone do Hal?
Yeah, I was like,
Because
that
you
was
don't
my
know what
first
else to do? Like, you know.
I feel like most people I've talked to who started running,
Yeah.
a while ago, I feel like used Hal Higdon. Now people who start running right away, you're exposed to all these resources.
None of that was
Yeah,
there,
no.
right? None of that.
Yeah, you
I
just
mean,
Google marathon
right.
training plan, and there
Right.
comes Hal Higdon.
But I mean, like, where did you even Google? Because I didn't have a cell phone. I mean, my cell phone didn't come until I was like 24 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
And then, I mean, Google. I mean, like and
on
you
a
didn't-
computer- on a
none
computer,
of it, right? That's
yeah.
what you did. You went and printed off the directions and put it on the refrigerator
Yep,
and checked the box.
100%, yeah.
But I had never done like speed work or any of that until this Sarah as a coach. I just yeah.
Same. It took me, I remember thinking about having a coach and being like, well, I don't need a coach.
Right.
Like, I know what to do. And that was very far from the truth.
I just started using salt running like
Oh, yeah.
2 years ago.
You know, Sarah Farney at Monumental, was it last year? I can't remember when it was. She saved me. She gave me
Yes, that
Were
was
you
the
with her?
one. Yes. And she was giving them to everyone.
I was like, oh, yeah,
I'm like,
you know
I'm
what?
like my drug dealer, right? But
Yes.
like, yes, you need this to get
Yes.
through it.
Yeah, that was saved me because I just started off with a cramp somehow.
It's
like,
never.
what the hell?
How does this happen?
Yeah, how does this happen? So when you did Chicago, I'm going to assume that you signed up before there was a lottery.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I mean, I had gotten out of the racing world for a while with my babies. And when I got back in it, I didn't realize that it had gone to a lottery, that it got that big.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. But it wasn't the case then. You just signed up.
Right. I did my first, Chicago was my first marathon as well. And it was 10-10-10 was my first marathon.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now, was it signing up then too?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the last time I did it might have been 2015. And like, I think that year I had gotten in via lottery.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think the last time I did it, I don't know when it was, but it had to be before, it was probably 2008.
Okay.
And so I'd never known it. Oh my God, that's not true. I did it when I was right before I had Oliver. It probably didn't go into lottery. I think I did 2013.
Okay.
2013.
Yeah, it had to be right around there.
Yeah. Because we were living there at the time. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to finally be able to walk to the race.
That's
you
cool.
know.
Yeah.
Or walk to the expo. That expo was a 3-mile walk. That was a long walk. I don't know if I would have, but it was, you can't get to that expo easily. Like there's just, so we were living right in that area. And,
that's cool. Yeah. So the first half you did, which one was it?
It was the Indy one.
Okay, the Monumental? Indy Mini?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like people who live around here, tends to be the first one. Because
it was
the
the
biggest
only
one.
Here. A Monumental, I didn't even know about until, when did it start?
Oh, gosh. Oh, shoot. I should know that off the top of my head. Oh, over 15 years ago.
Okay, it was because I remember that race and then the Mini on that.
Yeah.
I have run that. I'm sorry, I have. Sorry.
That's so do you, how do you
My
keep
mother
track?
has dementia. I swear I'm not far behind with that. Yeah. So.
Angela, I could talk about that for a while too, because my mom's mom, my dad's mom, like even his stepmom. I mean, all the older women in my life have had dementia, and so I'm so scared.
That is why when I'm on social media, I write things for better or for worse, so that I remember that feeling, so that when I don't remember, I can go back and hopefully it'll snap me.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Back or to know what that feels like. Because
Right. It's like, for me, I'll forget people's names, or like I'll forget what year, like years, or you're like, wow, how do I not know that? But then also I read about perimenopause, and like there's all kinds of symptoms with that too. So I'm like, well, I don't know
that
what's
shit's
happening.
Real.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, is that so real? Like,
yeah, we could probably talk about that for a while too.
Oh my God, yes, yeah. I mean, fingers crossed that now that I'm on estrogen and progesterone and all the things, I like that'll kickstart my memory again.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah. I know I have a horrible memory. So,
but I just remember Oliver was 6 months old. It was
when you did Chicago.
No. When I did the Monumental Mini. Yeah, he was 6 months old.
And is Oliver your oldest?
Yes.
Okay.
So he is 12 now. And he was 6 months old. Wow. It was the day after Halloween. He was so sick. I was up all night. And he didn't even... Oh, that baby. He is a good boy now. But like I was up every 2 hours with him. I used to syringe feed him literally with a little syringe because he was born at 35 weeks, so he never developed the sucking reflex.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't want them to put an NG tube in because
that's a lot.
Having worked with children with NG tubes, like it creates its own problems.
Yeah.
But I just remember like at one of the feedings, I was like, I might as well just stay up and go downtown. You know,
did you?
Get right.
You're like, well,
might as well. I'm up, and so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moms are just.
It's something different. And I think, do you feel that way too, though, with running, at least? Because I've seen you run with your children.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you go out race day, don't you feel like the baddest ass out there because you were killing it in front of people? Because you're like, oh no, this is nothing. compared to that stroller.
Right. Okay. And so one of my favorite stories to tell on this topic is at the Geist Half Marathon, the last time I did it, which was several years ago now, the announcer at the end was like, "Congratulations, this is the hardest thing you'll do today." And I was like, "Sir, you are not a parent, are you? Because the hardest thing I will do today is go home and be a mom the rest of the day."
Staying up. You're not allowed to be sore.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I remember after the Carmel Marathon 3 years ago, the next day was Easter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so my children believe in the Easter Bunny, or my youngest still does, but my oldest did too at the time. And so getting down the stairs to hide the Easter eggs, because my husband, I don't know why, but he does not partake in the Easter, but he doesn't believe in lying to our children. He says that.
It is a weird thing.
Right?
I'll give
but
him
like
that for sure. Yeah.
hiding the Easter eggs outside, like being so sore, and I'm like, they don't know what love is. Like, but it doesn't stop. My point is
so
like,
funny.
it doesn't
Yes.
stop. It doesn't stop for us. So that's right. You're like, yeah, you don't even know.
Oh my gosh, you like drop one and you're like, well, I guess that's where that one's hiding.
I hope something's in it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bend over.
Yeah, it's
and
not
get
gonna
that.
happen, right? So,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So how was your first marathon? Do you remember?
I do. I started with a friend. We started running together, and we worked together, and we both said we were going to run our own race. And I went so much faster. I didn't pace myself, because why would you? You don't know any
What
better,
you're doing,
right? So much so that my twin sister, like, she has hardly missed any of my races, like ever. She never got to see me in my race because, right, technology wasn't what it is now.
Yeah.
And so I was ahead of every stop she was going to be at. So now we have figured it out where
Right.
she carries a balloon, like a certain color
Super smart.
balloon.
I've seen people do that. That is brilliant.
So I look for her instead of her looking for me.
Oh, it'd be fun to pick the balloon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can
the
pick,
most
like,
obnoxious
yeah,
one you
you're
can.
like, SpongeBob. Or I don't know why that was the first one that popped in my mind. But yeah, that's super smart.
Yeah.
And what's your twin's name?
Alicia.
Alicia. Okay. Yeah. Growing up as a twin.
I don't know life otherwise.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until I had Oliver that I thought about that. I'm like, oh, like, he needs play dates. I didn't have play dates. We didn't do that. We always joke that we're not sure. We didn't hang out in high school very much. I had my friends. She had her friends, and our friends were friends. We were in the same group, but it's not like we were
Always.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as we were in college, we would talk on the phone every day. And this is before cell phones, right? So it's like,
You're, like,
a penny
twirling
a
your
minute,
finger.
10 minutes,
Yeah.
10 seconds a minute if you were not in the roaming stage. And so my dad would be like, why is your phone bill crazy? What do you have to talk to her about? And everything,
Yeah.
It wasn't ever silence, like when you were on the phone with a boy, but we would like fight for space. And so then she's currently living with us, right? And because she's getting her ACL repaired tomorrow. And so,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she's even moved down here because of my boys.
Yeah, that's so amazing.
Yeah. So
That's so nice to have her close. Does she have kids too?
she doesn't.
Okay.
My boys are her boys.
Oh,
And my boys treat her with the same respect. And so that's kind of fun. Like hearing them, like they call her TT because they could never say Alicia. And they're like, TT! TT! And so she answers to them. And it's funny. But I remember one Mother's Day, she got a better gift than I did. Not that it matters.
Wait a minute.
But I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
And you had a hard time having your boys.
Yes. So I remember, I think I told you married when I was 36. I just remember we moved to Chicago, and it should have been happening, and it wasn't. And so then I started fertility treatment in Chicago, and it was the perfect time for us to be in Chicago because health insurance covered IVF. So the only thing I had to cover were my drugs for IVF. But yes, Oliver's first round of IVF, which I now realize is that never really happens. No one gets it the first round. And I only had one. So it was him or nothing,
Wow,
know?
yeah.
And I remember going in Chicago, it was almost like, well, here you have your individual appointments and everything. In Chicago, it's like, because I think insurance covered it, it was like a meat market. So you would go there, you would have to find different ways of getting to the 14th floor because then you had to take a number and you waited in line. And it was like, yeah. So he was first round, and then Alexander was 6 rounds later. And we went to Colorado for him. Like, I had one opportunity left with my husband, Hari. That was it. He was giving me one more round.
Yeah, that's got to be, it's hard on.
Yeah. A marriage, yeah. And so I did all of it, the crazy stuff. Drank the Udo's oil, ate the pineapple core.
Oh my gosh. I don't know any of this.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, And then I went to my doctor here after a few miscarriages. It was just like, you either need to go to Colorado or you need donor eggs. And
well, it's in Colorado.
I should know this. The place it is like where at the time Juliana Rancic had gone there. It's number one with fertility.
Interesting.
So my doctor was cool enough that he was like, you can go do your work up there, but I'll let you do all your ultrasounds here. And then when they monitor your egg growth, you have to be there. So I was there for 2 weeks on my own, just growing eggs. But like you go there and they do an entire day of workup with you, and then they decide whether or not it's worth it to them.
Right, if you're like a good candidate for them to help. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
Well, amazing that you have 2 beautiful boys. They are just adorable.
I think that's what makes me think, I don't feel 50. I don't ever want to feel 50. But like with them, do you do yay time with your kids? Like yay time? Like
no, I don't know what that means.
111, 222, 333, 444.
Oh, that's cute.
And so anytime the clock is, it's yay time. Like it's yay time. And we just start dancing for the entire minute. And then the first person who doesn't say it's not yay time. But it's those kind of things. Like I think you work so hard for your babies that you're like, oh yeah, every
right. I don't want to ever be too tired or not able to.
But it translates into real life too. Like I want my workout to be done before they wake up. I still want snuggles in the morning.
Yeah. Got to take all that you can get now.
Right.
Yeah.
When I can get it. Yeah.
I'm feeling it. They just are growing so fast. And I know people listening who have older kids are like, well, just wait.
They're not going to talk. You're not going to talk to me like once a week. I just can't even imagine.
Yeah.
That's why I substitute teach, so I could see them throughout the day.
Oh, you substitute teach?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah, I love it. I should have been a teacher. That's what I should have done.
Wow.
But I wasn't a teacher. I went to PT school because my mother was a teacher, and she's just like, I'm a single mother.
To make money.
Yeah. Should you do this on your own? Like, yeah.
Are you still a PT?
I carry my license. Like I still get it renewed, and friends that have injuries.
Yeah, I was like, that's a great benefit for
and
friends.
so like when I'm like, pick my brain, it's so fun, but I loved home care. I like going into people's homes. It reminds me of my grandparents, but with IVF, I couldn't keep it up because I could never hold a job.
Right. Yeah.
Because of all
there's so many appointments and
And then both my boys were failure to thrive babies, and so I just couldn't.
What does that mean?
They were always sick. They were always hospitalized. Oliver was hospitalized for over a week once.
Jeez.
And they were, yes. Oh. So they're so healthy now,
so
but I
hard
never
to go through, though.
got to, right. I couldn't really go back because it was just crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
And so now I substitute teach.
Yeah, there you go.
I make my own hours.
Yeah. Right. It's the best. It is. Making your own hours is the best. Did you run while you were pregnant with them at all?
Did I run? No, I didn't. In fact, when I was pregnant with Alexander, I forget what it's called now, but basically I had to be hospitalized for a month in advance because I wasn't able to walk. I had to be bedridden because whatever it is, the main blood supply was under him. So if he came, then I had the potential to bleed out and die.
Oh.
I forget what it's called. I should remember the name of it.
Yeah. Gosh.
But so I was in the hospital, and a year later, I ran my first marathon to the day of when I went into the hospital, and I carried Oliver over the finish line. It was like that moment, like, okay, everything is good in the world again.
Yeah.
Of course, Alexander kept me up all night.
Yeah.
But you don't care because you're able to run again.
Yes. Yeah. And then you feel like, okay, I'm still me.
Mm-hmm. And that's right.
I do feel like I'm sure some women get discouraged after having kids. Oh, I couldn't do it. But it's just like, you can. In fact, I'm faster than I've ever been in my life.
That's how.
Which is wild.
Right?
Yeah.
You reach a level of fatigue that you persevere through because you have no other choice.
Yeah.
And then you go to do your races and you're like, okay, I'll get through it. And then when a bad run turns good, and then you're like, oh yeah, I really could.
Yeah.
Like maybe I could go a little faster.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could try that out. Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned earlier missing Boston by like a minute and 40 or so.
Yes.
So when did you set your sights on Boston?
Right then and there. Because again, you have kids. You don't think this is in your scope again, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've done that. That's in my past. This is my life now. And I remember I'm like, okay, let's get a coach. Let's kind of figure this out. Actually, even when I had Sarah, I think Sarah and Tracy at the time were like, well, we'll see how Monumental goes, and then we'll see if, like, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, no, Monumental has to be it. I don't know if I could continue this training. Like, you can almost get psychotic about it.
Right.
Like, you mark the water spots, you run the course, you realize where you could breathe, you know where the mild incline is, you know, where you can make up some of the times, you know, and you're like, you can't keep that up forever.
Yeah.
So I remember I asked them if they could do, I asked Sarah if she could do a plan. What would it take? What mileage would I need to do in order to get this time? And if I'm gutsy, if I could get this time. And if I'm really gutsy, if I can get this time. And just play with those numbers. Because I didn't realize that once you qualify, then they cut off the time. For me, I think it was a 350.
Yeah. So
here I was aiming for a 350, not realizing it. Someone told me later it wouldn't have mattered if you hit the 350 because it was a 347 or something. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
I feel for people who have come within seconds or whatever, or you get the time and then the buffer kills you.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second, because I realized this year that I qualified, but then when I entered it, I missed the time by 10 seconds.
No.
I did. But, right? Like, we have to look for the good in all.
I guess.
Okay, so now I'm doing grind instead of Boston.
And grind on the grid is a backyard ultra.
Which is a few weeks later.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to volunteer for Prairie this year. And I'm going to do my backyard ultra in the spring, not have the summer off, but not having to think all summer about the build up to September. So I'm going to have a summer where I'm not training, but the hard one is done.
Yeah.
And the rest.
That'll be nice. I've never done a spring marathon or like a spring race that's my big race. In fact, you know, I for a time I was doing marathons like every other year because I feel like a marathon training block takes a lot of time of your year.
It does.
And especially if you're only doing fall, it's like every summer, that's what you're doing. And so it is, I don't know. And I feel like in this world we're in, it feels like everybody's doing marathons all the time. And you're like, wait a minute.
I'm allowed to pick 4 races.
Yeah.
And they kind of have to be within a certain time frame.
Yeah.
And that's all that my family allows.
Yeah. So that's such a good thing to talk about too, because it is hard with family, with spouses who may get it, may not get it.
They don't get it.
My husband he ran one marathon with me. He kind of gets it. But at the same time, he's kind of like, really, do you have to do all these races? Like,
right.
So it is a strain if there's too much going on.
Yes.
And so I have to be really careful about that too. I kind of like that you've set, here's our agreed upon amount.
These are the 4 races. Like, those are givens.
Yeah.
I do my training. I deserve this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to feel guilty about it.
Right.
But, I mean, these are going to happen. Like, we go to Hilton Head every year. I am up at like 4:30 in the morning because it's 90 degrees by like 8 a.m., you know, and I'm like doing all my long runs, then, you know, 20 milers, whatnot. And because it's summer and like you cannot not train when you're on vacation, but you also can't run that at 1 in the afternoon.
Right. Well, because your family will miss you too. They're like, well, we want you.
We're
to
at the
hang out with
beach.
you.
Where were you?
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Exactly. It's hard. It's hard.
Is.
But then, you know, you remind yourself, as I do, it's like kids aren't going to be young forever.
I know.
There's going to be a time where hopefully it can still be running.
Right.
Where you can do whatever you want. But these years are important.
Yeah.
But I do feel it's very important as moms that or as parents, like that you get your time and are dedicated to something that is for you, because it makes me a better mom.
I'm better. I matter.
Everything. Yeah.
I matter. You know, like I matter. Like and I feel like, especially with Oliver, Alexander's, he's not figured it out yet, but Oliver gets it. You have to work hard for what you want. He was trying out for a traveling soccer team, and he only did it because one of his friends did it, and he didn't know any of the positions. Yeah. And some of the kids who had been on the team were like, he doesn't know the positions, you know? Yeah. And he's like, I'll figure it out. And I'm like, get over here. And I'm like, you run until they tell you not to run. You just go for the ball and you work your hardest out there. Don't you stop until he tells you to stop, and everything else will fall into place. Yeah. So he gets the grit, you know?
Yeah. Which is such a blessing that you've instilled that in him.
I consider myself a smart person, but I am not to the level that I think my husband is. But the grit and the hard work is undeniable. And my kids, they know that. Like,
Yeah.
School comes easy to them. I'm happy for them. I could not be more proud.
Perfect.
But like,
Yeah.
When I see my kids, it's when they're on the playing field, when they're playing basketball. Because they're short. We're short. I'm short. I'm 5'1". And like, they're always guarding people that are taller than them. And I'm like, my dad used to say dynamite comes in small packages.
There you
so
go.
we keep going with that. Like, you are never going to be defined by your height. As long as you're fast and you put the work in and you work harder than anyone else there, like, you cannot be disappointed when one comes your way.
Have you taken them to see Goat yet?
No.
Okay, it's a movie about literally a goat, but it stands for obviously greatest of all time, but it's a basketball story, and this goat's really small, and all the animals are like, you're too small, you can't do this, and he works
Are you
hard.
serious?
Yeah, you got to take him.
Okay.
It's just came out not too long ago. It's really cute.
See, this is the reason why they should still have commercials, or that we should stop and watch commercials, because I haven't even heard about
The
this.
only time I see previews for other movies is when I take my kids to the movies, I feel like.
Okay.
Which we do whenever a new movie comes out. We typically will go see it, go take them, especially in the winter.
I know.
Yeah.
My boys love those Sonic movies and, all those, and those movies make my head spin.
Yeah, some of the movies aren't as fun to watch.
Oh my God, that Minecraft movie.
I didn't have to see that one.
Afterwards, I was like, we're going, Mommy needs a cocktail.
Yeah.
We went to get a good espresso martini. I was like, I have earned this one here and there. And oh my God.
That's so funny. So back to Boston.
Yeah.
So you ran your first Boston though a long time ago, like 18 or so years ago. So how did you qualify for that first Boston? Because that was before kids.
Yeah, that was before kids. I had run Chicago, that first run, and then I did Columbus.
Okay.
And then one of my best friends lives still like near Louisville, so I went to Louisville and I did that race, and I was running with someone, and he and I just became friends.
I love that.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I was off by 30 seconds. And I'm like, wait, what? It was crazy because you just meet someone, and he was an older gentleman, and we're just talking about life, like, people fascinate me, and stories, and so I'm like, oh, maybe I could do this. And then I used to teach Pilates on the side, and one of the instructors there, she was just a fast runner. And I'm like, can I just run with you? So that's how I did training. I'm like running with her at her pace. And,
there you go.
She would talk and I would just.
Right. And I'm like thinking about talking to somebody during a marathon I'm racing, and that does not happen very much. Yeah.
No. And so because of her, I qualified.
Yeah.
Because I just, let me just keep up with you as best I can.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now on the other side of kids, you have not been able to go to Boston. Have you?
I did Boston 2
years
years
did?
ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did do Boston 2 years ago.
Amazing.
When I got Sarah as a coach, then I did qualify for Boston.
Okay.
And so this past year, we all went to Boston. And
I probably saw this. Oh my gosh.
I treated it so differently than I did last time. I didn't realize the cockiness, I guess, or the arrogantness of thinking every marathon, right? Every time is going to be better than the last time. And I thought my time was going to be better. And I still had a time worth re-qualifying for Boston, but it wasn't
At Boston?
At Boston.
Angela.
But it wasn't the time I wanted in my head.
Okay.
So
that's
that's
hard.
the only thing I remember so much. So this time, I'm not going to worry about time. I'm going to have the best time. We are going to go do all the things, I'm not going to worry about just stretching and we did, we ended up doing that, but we went for cocktails. We enjoyed Boston. It was Easter weekend. So all of this stuff, the Easter Bunny came to visit us in Boston. And I went out there and I just ran my race. I remember the night before I got so giddy putting new music together. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to listen to this song, And I think I did the first 2 miles, right, are downhill. And it set a tone. And my kids were there and I kissed them when I saw them.
Yeah.
And I only saw them once, but it was right, I think, mile 18, 19.
Oh, wow.
And it was the perfect moment to see them. And I kept going. I remember the first person I called after was Sarah. And I'm like, I had the best run. I have no regrets, whatever that time is. And even when I missed it by 10 seconds, I still thought back and I'm like, I told Oliver, I'm like, I missed it by 10 seconds. And he had this look on his face and he's like, could you have made it had you not kissed us?
Oh, and you're like, no. Then I would have missed it by 3 seconds.
No. I
And
would
who
never
cares?
have not kissed you. And
Right.
that was you. best moment
Yeah.
of that race.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I have no regrets. It was so fun. It was such a fun day. I was so happy that I remembered it that way.
Yeah.
I had the time of my life. Like I tried like theme songs like Catch My Breath from Kelly Clarkson. I remember hearing it, and I just kept
That's a good
hearing it
one.
in my, yeah. Because I'm like, this is my time.
Yes.
My moment, and I think that's why I'm doing Grind this year, because even with Prairie having had such a great run at 100 miles, I tell TJ this, and it's so silly, but it's not. From being your first female finisher to going to tie for third female finisher, I didn't think that would affect me.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest memories. Not that I'm, one of the 4 females to ever do the
Right,
backyard
right.
ultra, which
Yeah.
should be what sticks. But what stuck was that I went from first place to third place. So at Grind, I'm going to go out. If I hit 100, fucking fantastic.
Yes.
And if I don't, it's okay. It's my race. Like the pressure's off. I'm doing it on my terms.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about Prairie on Fire. And so for people who don't know what a backyard ultra is,
Yes.
you just basically run a loop every hour on the hour. That's like what,
4.167.
Okay, and you do that every hour on the hour until you can't anymore. Quick break in the show to tell you about Amazfit. Amazfit is a smart wearable brand that designs smartwatches, fitness trackers, and health technology for active lifestyles like ours. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you've heard me rave about the GPS smartwatch that I use from Amazfit called Balance 2. It replaced both my Garmin and Apple Watch. I wear it pretty much 24/7. I only charge it when I shower, and that's all I need to do to charge it. The battery lasts 21 days. And the price point is incredible for the quality. The watch I have is $299 compared to similar brands with similar functionality that are 2-3 times that. So if you are looking to upgrade your smartwatch this season, look no further than Amazfit. They have other products within their suite, such as the Helio Ring, which I am soon to get. It is $150 compared to other rings that can be up to $500. And they all sync together in one place where you house all of your health data. To shop, you can go to amazfit.com, amazfit.com, and you can use code ALLYB, ALLYB, for 10% off of your order. Thank you so much, Amazfit, for creating amazing, affordable products, and thank you for supporting this podcast. Now back to the show. And so for people who don't know what a backyard ultra is, you just basically run a loop every hour on the hour. That's like what,
4.167.
Okay, and you do that every hour on the hour until you can't anymore.
Right. And I had run the full Mo 2 years ago. I didn't realize TJ does that race, and he came to sit by me and was asking me about the race, and then he's just like, well, you should think about Prairie. And I'm like, okay. Right?
Yeah.
Like I hadn't even done 8 hour yet. So
Yeah.
I'm like, slow your roll. I mean, like I just did a 50K.
Yeah.
What on earth are you talking about is what I remember thinking.
Yeah.
And then I had done 8 hour, and then I had medical stuff that I couldn't, Prairie wasn't even on my mind. But I remember that day, like I knew like bad things were happening. And so I was just like, I guess I'm not going to, I had enough friends that did it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in my scope.
Yeah.
And then seeing it on social media and people talking about it, it was one of the races of my 4 that I chose. So I was super excited to do it because 8 hour had gone so well. And I didn't think I was going to have that good of a success or feel that good racing. Because who feels that good racing, right?
Well, and how many miles was your 8 hour? And I don't really know what to compare it to because...
Okay, so I had done, I didn't even know ultras existed. I didn't know they were called that.
Right.
After I did Boston, here's what happened. A boy dumped me because I turned 30. He was 2 years younger than me, and he dumped me because I turned 30.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Right? It did happen, though. And so I decided I was going to do something for myself. So I signed up for a 50 miler on the lakefront. And it was a loop. It still goes on, but it starts at the south part of Chicago. And I think it turned around the planetarium.
So wait,
and
not even a 50K, a 50
a
mile?
50 miler. I went and did a 50
Wow.
miler. And I remember, I didn't realize that those were ultras. Like, I just remember, like, this is a 50 miler. And so I had done 2 of those before having kids. And so I had gotten, so I knew I could get to 50 miles. But
Jeez.
that was also a lifetime ago, right? Like 10, 15 years ago, babies, 12 at least. And I think that one, but it's a flat course, right? So I did it I averaged to 9-10 miles. So
Jeez.
yeah. Or something like that.
Wow.
So, but now that trained on the course at Butler campus in Chicago are incomparable, right? It's I mean, oh my God, even the timing, that race starts at 6 a.m., Butler starts at 10 a.m., right?
Oh, yeah.
So you're in the middle of the heat,
Yeah.
where that race was over by 11,
Wow.
12, like you're almost done. And it's in October, so it's cool. The lakefront is cold,
Yeah.
where it's a heat wave. So I was aiming for 43, I think.
Okay.
I think I did 46, 47,
Jeez.
46.
Wow.
Maybe.
Wow.
I came in third. That's all I remember.
Wow.
And that has never happened. I never knew that podium was a word. And that was very cool to be like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
Yeah. Keep
But
going.
it was one of those like, ooh, I could do this
Yeah.
again. Like I could run these distances again. And the trail part of it was kind of cool that I thought, we were talking about Backyard Ultra. I'm like,
Yeah.
why don't we give this a shot? Because now the race is not a race against the clock. It's not so much strategy. You can just go and run, right? It's like a tailgate.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a sober tailgate, except you're going out for 40 minutes of it and coming back for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
10 to 20 minutes, depending on your time. And I just thought it was a really cool concept. My dad had passed away during COVID on September 7th. The year afterwards, I didn't realize how bad it would hit me. I could not get out of bed. I took my kids to school. I came home and I slept until I had to pick them up. I remember thinking, like, that can't happen again. I have got to figure this out. So fast forward to Prairie happens to be on that weekend of his passing. And we were out to dinner with friends, and someone's like, so how far do you think you're going to go? And I hadn't even talked it over with my family. And I'm like, my dad would be 75. I'm going to aim for 75 miles. In the moment it came out, like, you can't take it back, right? Not that anyone would care,
Right.
but like you care
Yeah,
now. Like, you
yeah.
put it out there. And so I remember talking to Sarah. I remember, I'm like, is this crazy? Like, and she's like, I think you could do this. I'm like, okay. And so that was the goal. And I felt great after 75. I felt great until I was asked to stop, until my family asked me to stop. I remember I went 75, I went another loop. I think I had to stop at 20. But on loop 18, I remember thinking during those 4 miles, I was playing every scenario out of, could I hit 100, but what would that cause at home? Because I was already asked to stop.
Yeah.
My family thought that I was injured, that I was delirious, because how do you run 75 miles and think you could go farther?
Right. Yeah,
Right? So they didn't get that I wasn't hurt. I was really having a good time. And so I stopped at 83, 84 miles at 20 loops. And the moment I stopped, I knew I was going to
Do it again.
and I would hit 100.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
only other part that I didn't mind stopping, my sister was in Ireland, and she has always gone to my races. There was once when I was in Chicago, 10, 15 years ago, I did Columbus, Chicago, Marine Corps, and then I did my 50-miler. Boom, 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 boom.
Jeez.
Like all in the month of October.
Yeah.
October was just, and she went with me to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
She went to all of them, and so she was FaceTiming. And I remember when I didn't hit, like when I stopped, she's like, I'm kind of glad you did it. I would want to be there. And I would want her to be
yeah.
there, so it all worked itself out. Yeah. I don't think I've ever done anything without her that matters. And so that was one of those reasons, like, okay,
Yeah,
this
okay,
makes
I
sense.
can
I can do
stop.
this. I can
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did, because at this Prairie, at mile 92, oh, was it painful. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus, I only run in Hokas. I love my Hokas, but I think I will cut off the back part of it because it just kept pushing into
That's
my
actually why I
Achilles.
can't run in Hokas, because they get me good in the back. Yeah.
And all I kept from thinking, again, being a mother, and I'm like, I am no Halliburton. I tear this Achilles. I have to drive.
Right.
Like,
yes.
I got it.
Yeah.
I had soccer games the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up not going to them, but like, I was in a Birkenstock shoe for a good month after Prairie. I could not put on a shoe for a month after Prairie. It
Yeah.
was that bad. I remember going out and running a mile in my Birkenstocks because I'm like, I just want to make sure I could still
Right, I just want to move my body.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just need to know that it's just this part that hurts. Like nothing else hurts or nothing else will be as painful.
As painful, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm in awe of everybody doing these races.
But you have to do it with the community, right? Like you've got to do it with your people.
Yeah.
You know, Sarah, like that will be the kicker for grind for me because Tammy's doing it. Tammy's got big goals. You know, she has taken it to another level. Like she's aiming for 200 and she's put it out there. Whoa. So, and she's fast. Where I am very much enjoying my 11, 12-minute pace these days. Like I put on a good audiobook, I put on your podcast, and I'm just running and time just flies by, but I don't have to worry about speed anymore, and it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see, when I started this podcast, I was like, I'll never do an ultra, but I like think it's so cool. And now I'm like, well, I want to do an ultra because...
You haven't done one yet?
No, I've never done an ultra.
It's right up your alley, literally.
Yeah. Well, that's what everyone says. You'll love it.
You will love it.
And the full Mo, for people who might not know, it's a 50K. It's on a rail trail. So it's it's on our Monon trail, which
it's so pretty.
Yeah, it's so pretty. And I train on that all the time.
Right?
I've run 20 miles on that trail. I've done the, what's it called? Indy Runners puts it on, Run the Monon. I think it's something like that. It's in the fall, so you can do a training run, like your 20-miler with people. So I've done that before.
I've jumped on with people who have trained.
Yeah.
You have not done, why are you not doing the FOMO?
Great question. I'm sure TJ Daly is listening.
You need to do that. It is the prettiest thing. I'm going to not race it this year. I'm going to be on the other side of it. And that's a different story. But I think it's the prettiest thing. You see horses, you see the sunrise in the morning. Yeah. And then you go through Carmel and all the artwork. And then you hit Broad Ripple, which I consider my hood. And like, it's so eclectic, you know? And then you go into the downtown area, and that's where my kids go to school. So I feel like I'm really at home there.
Yeah.
And then you hit all the buildings, and you have to do it.
Oh, I want to. Well, it's one of those things. It's the family thing.
Yes.
It's figuring out how does it fit in? Does it fit in?
Right.
But yeah, I turned 40 in July, and so I had been thinking about the idea of doing an ultra before I turned 40. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a hot weather runner either. And
but you don't. Okay, at the end it gets hot.
Warm.
But we're adding another water stop there, like
in
that area where you feel like you could fry an egg on that pavement. Yes, they're adding a water stop there, which I think will help a lot of people and enough to look forward to. But it just is so pretty. You need to do it, and I feel like then. Well, because you do this, I'm sure you meet a lot of runners. But those are the people that I'm like, Pedro and Max and Carly. And like now, I didn't know any of them, but they were Fisher's Running Club. I wasn't part of Fisher's Running Club, but I see them all doing their fireball shot. And all of them hanging out. And again, I'm like, can I be a friend?
Yeah, can you be friends?
Yes.
I like this.
Yeah. And Lindsay Welty is one of my besties. I love her so much.
We miss her.
I miss her. But I met her there because I remember always being behind her. And I'm like, I got to see your backside, and, so much. But I'm like, I just got to know who you are, And I'm like, can I run with you sometimes? And I remember when she got on social media and we started to run together. Like, I usually have to make sure I don't run 2 days before I run with her because she can run and talk, and I am busting my butt to keep up with her. But
incredible.
She's so good.
It's on my list. Okay. I feel like I will do it. And I keep saying that like every year. I'm like, I'll do it next year, or I don't know.
It will open your door to then you realizing, why am I not doing this all the time, like these kind of races?
Yeah, because road racing is
stressful.
Yeah, and it's stressful.
I enjoy trail running so much more, or the ultras, because I was getting exhausted doing the math in my head every mile of the race.
Right.
Because for the entire marathon, you're just mathing. It's an entire math problem. How much faster do I need to be to get to that goal? And it's exhausting. I mean, never mind your legs. Your brain is exhausted.
Yeah.
And you keep that
Why isn't
up.
there an app you can talk to that does that for you? There should be.
There should
I don't know. But it's like if you're running, be like, hey, Siri, how fast do I need to run if I'm at this time and I want to hit this time? Maybe Siri can do it. But even formulating that sentence and getting that out would be hard for me during a race.
You can't, right? Yeah. So Carmel had an app where you started so your friends could know where you are. And I started it early thinking like I could pause it, but I didn't realize I didn't pause it. So my first mile, it said, was like 20 minutes, but that's because it had been
going already. Yeah.
So everyone else thought what happened on her first mile, but it became the ongoing joke in my head with my earbuds, but because it's like, you've just cut down your mile time to 15 minutes. And I'm like, oh, that's hysterical. I'm like, oh, I wonder if what's going to be the next one. Like, no, you've cut it down to 12 minutes. And so there's nothing like positivity, right? As long as it keeps going down.
Yeah.
It's just kind of funny. But the math just exhausted me.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah.
So I've found the way that I've enjoyed road racing more is by doing other things, like whether it's pacing or running with Ainsley's Angels, which I do, or, whatever, it that helps. Or if I'm volunteering or if I'm just having fun at the race and I'm not going for a time,
Ellie,
it is nice to balance it out.
That's really, I envy you that you have figured that out, not even being 40, because I feel like that's what this last year has been for me. I'm like, I'm not going to podium anymore, or like I've tasted it and it tastes great, right? But it's not realistic.
Yeah.
But I've had this talk with Sarah. I'm like, it is what brings me the most joy, running. Like, I don't ever want to lose that.
Yes.
But I don't want to always compare it to something else. Like, so she has said that, she's like, you should try the volunteer aspect of it.
It is great.
And so
really
that's
is.
when I had a meeting with TJ, and I'm like, I think I want to start coming on that side of it.
Yeah.
And then Sarah's like, you should also look into finding someone who wants to finish a race with them.
Right. Yeah. Being a pacer and helping. Yeah. It is really amazing to do a race for someone other than yourself.
Yeah.
Whether it's, pacing or whatever. There's a lot of ways to do it. Or if you're just running with a friend for the whole time who just needs to be paced.
I listened to, it was one of the episodes, and she did Ainsley's Angels.
Shannon Spencer.
Yes.
Was one of the, my recent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And wow. Yeah, just listening to all of that, I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah. And all that goes involved, because again, you're racing with another human, pushing with all that happens and making sure they're comfortable. I can't imagine how, I hope one day I get to experience that and to see like how fulfilling that is to have given someone else that experience.
Yeah.
Because then it's not for you.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you mentioned Marine Corps. I just did Marine Corps with them.
Did you?
It was so fun. Yeah.
Is that when you? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I pushed with Ainsley's Angels for Marine Corps, but
How many miles? I mean, did you?
A full marathon.
But
I did not push the whole time. I had a very kind stranger help me. I was so lucky because I was supposed to do it all by myself, and I was freaking out.
Yeah.
When it was I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. What if I can't get this person to the finish line?
Right.
And so I reached out to somebody, and
It's not flat either.
No. Yeah.
That's the part that gets me. Like,
so I was so lucky. So I pushed, how
much do you push? How much did you push?
I probably pushed less than half the time.
Okay. No. But weight-wise.
I don't know. So the woman that we pushed, she was 37, but she probably weighed 90 pounds. I mean, she was small.
Sure, but that.
So, but the chariots that they have are meant for racing.
Okay.
So they are like lightweight. They're like made of, I don't know, carbon fiber, right?
Sure.
So they're nice. They're made for that. So it's not even like pushing a stroller. It's easier than that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about that. Like, a baby weighs about 10 pounds, then the carrier, then the stroller.
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
Yeah, the strollers are, I feel like, pretty heavy compared to this.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just and then you're usually sharing the work with someone else, which obviously helps a lot too. But anyway, so I think I've been worried about burning myself out. Yeah. And I'm sure you feel that way too, doing these big races and all the training that goes into that. It's like, I don't want to lose the joy that I experience. Yeah.
That's exactly it. The joy, right?
Yeah.
So after grind, I don't have anything planned. And
Good for you.
Right? At this point, I feel like I'm treating things as an experiment. Just kind of see how it goes. Mm-hmm. I have a hypothesis that I'm going to miss it, but it'll be on my terms, instead of, because it's so much.
Yeah.
And after Prairie, I had what with every high comes a low. Yeah. And my low was so low that I could not. I've always been a depressed person, but I could not snap out of it. Like, it was hard. I'm starting to find my middle ground. Like, I remember when I was interviewing for Sarah, for her to take me on as a client, I know, like, I'm somewhat crazy, right? But aren't we all kind of crazy? Like, we all are, right? Like,
who's normal?
Who's normal?
If you think you're normal.
Right. I would like to meet
Explain
you.
that
right.
to me.
I want to hear what that sounds like
Yeah.
or what that thought process
Right.
is like.
Yeah.
Know? So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to now do races, know that still brings me joy, right? Because I don't want it to take away my joy. But that is also what I depend on when I am at my lowest. And so it cannot feel like work.
Right.
And that was my biggest struggle. And that's what I love about Sarah is like I can call her and I'm just like having these conversations out loud. Like what am I going to do? I don't want to, it's not burnout, right? It's just, I got to love it.
Yeah.
Right? Like you got to love it. And if I don't love it, that's what scares me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you're like, well, then what do I do? Especially with all this like anxiety and like energy, negative energy that just needs to
work itself out.
Yeah.
Work itself out.
So back to your twin too, Alicia. Does she also experience depression? Is that something that you share?
We do.
That's so interesting. And does it run in your family? Okay.
My older sister is bipolar
and
manic depressive. My mom I'm sure she was never diagnosed because of it, because of, society and
just
so
different.
Secrets, right? That's what I call it, secrets.
Right.
Oh, my older sister would be pissed that I said that. It's okay. But she has done an Ironman, which is so cool. Like,
right, that's a whole nother level.
That's like, And so with now that her knee's a mess and she needs to have surgery, I think she's looking forward to being able to run again. And the endorphin kick is like, you just can't beat it,
Yeah, that's all. It's just all so hard. Do you know Gordon Strain?
No.
Oh, you should know Gordon. He is running with bipolar on Instagram. He lives in Franklin, Indiana, and he was on this podcast a long time ago, but he's wonderful. So he's somebody too that experiences the highs and the lows very much so. And it was just great talking to somebody and trying to understand, because I've dealt with anxiety, not as much depression as it's anxiety, and it's all been really in my adult life for the most part. But yeah, I mean, it's always helpful to understand what people are going through. And like you said, it's not always been talked about. And so finally just being like, okay, I need to share this because I know I'm not the only one that's going through this.
And when you're in it and you're talking to someone who doesn't know you're in it, and now you're trying to fake it so that you could get through it. Yeah. But you're almost like, they have got to know something is up with me. I could not be more awkward, And so I remember I after Prairie, I did all of it. I went to go see a functional medicine doctor because I'm like, I clearly got to be in perimenopause. I went to go see my family doctor because I'm like, we need to do something about these drugs because they're not the right ones. They're not the right ones. I got a psychiatrist to get into it, and I'm like, it had gotten to the point that I would tell my kids, you cannot talk to me when I am driving, because I would see the red light, but it would not translate to stop because I was so I always loved listening to audiobooks. I could not focus on an audiobook. It was too long. It was just too much of a commitment. I was so foggy. I was even driving once, and I thought to myself, if I make a left-hand turn, what would that do? Like almost like Russian roulette, And that's where I'm like, this can't be right. First of all, I worked too hard for my babies, and I would never ever want to do anything like that. But to know that is actually in my head. I know it's wrong, but it's in my head. Like something's got to get.
No, I've experienced almost the same thing. These intrusive thoughts that just pop into your head. You're like driving down the street and you're like, gosh, if I just swerved over here and just ran right into that car.
Right.
It's like, why? Where does that come from? But it's real. Something that I have been talking to my therapist and my doctor about as well, because how do I figure out how to get rid of this? Because I don't want to go my whole life where every other second I'm just thinking of something like that.
I remember I wrote down one day, and I read it to my psychiatrist. I'm like, I mean, life is like a fun house, right? And you have your highs and lows with roller coaster. And I get that I'm on that a little bit because my mother, we just moved her down she was up in Northwest Indiana. We realized that her dementia was getting worse. She needed to be closer, but we haven't been very close in the last few years for other reasons. And so now she's 2 minutes from me. And now she's our responsibility, and she doesn't remember any of the things that cause childhood trauma. And so then I thought the hard part was moving her down here, right?
Yeah.
And then I ran Prairie, and I'm like checking the boxes, and then it's all done, and she's still here, and I shouldn't be feeling this way. And oh my gosh, now I need a new cocktail. Like now I need to get everything looked at because I am snowballing, and I don't know how to make it stop.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Well, I just know that you're definitely not alone.
Yeah. But it's so much easier to say it now. And even with friends, I'm like, I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
And like, I don't feel like it's a secret, and it's not something I am ashamed of.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like on social media I might be too vocal about it, but I have also gotten to the point where I just don't give a shit.
Well, yeah, it's like if you don't want it, then fine.
Swipe.
Go away.
Swipe.
There's so
you
much.
But it's exactly how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, just thank goodness people are talking about it
Right.
more now.
Yeah. And I thank goodness, like, you have people on here too who talk about it with running and what it does for you and how it centers you and it brings you back to the world is a good place. You know.
Yeah.
There's
and
still hope in humanity.
most runners are the best people.
Right.
Whenever I meet somebody who's like a runner that's not the nicest, you're like, what are you doing in this sport?
Right. How are you?
We're supposed to be nice.
We're all here for each other, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So there's still some, but you know, that's people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about this is so good because I hope that it can help somebody else to realize they're not alone, that there's, like you described it as like a cocktail. I'd talk about it like as like a toolbox of like, you know, running can't be your only thing, but there's sometimes it's a lot of different things. And sometimes it's really hard to figure out what all needs to be in there for it to be good, to your point.
Yes. And I think once you come out and say it, it was so cool having so many, especially Fisher's Running Club, people reach out privately, either to support me or to share something with me. And like, yeah, you know, because I mean, we all try to be the best version of ourselves. And I am a really cheery person. I just love, you know what bugs me these days? When you go to a chase machine and you have to get your cash that way, I like going into the bank and talking to the teller. Like Rhonda at Kroger is one of my favorite people. I like to go to the grocery store, you know, and I go in pajamas. I just don't care what I look like, you know, but I love to chat with people. And when you're sad, you can't. And I'm grateful when I'm not in one. Like, and I'm not in a,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's why I think about my knees. I'm like, I cannot not run, right?
Please.
I'm sure I'll like walking one day. I'm sure I'll get to the point where I'll be grateful that I have a walker and I'm walking.
Yeah.
But who was it that you had recently? Her mother's like 70-some years old and she runs the mini every year?
Oh, yeah. Quincy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to be her.
I really want to be that. My dad is 69 and we did Marine Corps. He also ran Marine Corps.
Did?
Yeah. But now we're doing, this weekend is my first race of the year, half marathon in Fort Myers. And he was supposed to do it too, but he had to back out. He's having some pain. And that's the first time he's ever done that. And you're like, God, Dad,
now,
you're getting old.
Did you grow up being a runner? Like, did your family run?
My parents both, my mom was the first real runner in our family.
Okay.
But then her hips, but she's still really, really active.
Okay.
And then my dad joined when she started doing the mini. He's like, well, I wonder if I could do that.
Yeah.
And so then he got into it and then really caught the bug. And so he's like done marathons and him and I have really shared the love of running, which has been great. But yeah, I was just, you know, I played soccer and stuff as a kid, but I really didn't grow up a runner. Yeah. It was punishment for me.
I did a 1-year cross country.
Okay.
And I didn't realize like that's essentially what trail running is, right? But I didn't know that, you know. And then I didn't do it the next year because I was old enough to get a job and I really I needed money. I wanted to shop, you know. And so that was the end of that, you know. But it's really cool to see young kids running now. I remember, I guess it was COVID. No, it wasn't not COVID. There was going to be a mini, what is it, the little mini for the kids?
The rookie run.
Okay. So we were signed up to do the rookie run. The mom chat, I got all of Oliver's friends signed up to do the rookie run. We didn't sign up as a team because we are not that organized, or I'm not a very organized person. I don't even keep a calendar. And it got canceled, or for some reason they weren't having it. I can't remember what happened. All I know is that We made our own course at Holiday Park and got medals off of Amazon and
Amazing.
made bibs for all of them.
That's
and
so cool.
I'm just like, I want my boys to love to do runs. They're in soccer now, they're in basketball, but I want them to realize that running is the one thing you can do by yourself if you want. You can do it with other people if you want. It will bring you joy with catching up with people. It will bring you joy when you're having a bad day. But that is just not something I grew up with, and
Same.
I want them to learn it now.
Yeah, I do too. But there's also this like, I don't want to force it on them. It's like such a delicate balance of they see me do it, so they want to do it. They want to be like mom.
Yeah.
I'm sure your boys are the same. Yeah.
Oliver did cross country last year at school.
Okay.
He didn't do it this year because of soccer. But I was almost like busting out with joy going with him to get running shoes. I had to contain myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, so did you want running shoes? Like acting really cool and nonchalant.
So you wanna do
And
that.
while he's putting on his Sauconys, I'm like, do you know those are mommy's first pair of shoes? Like,
so funny.
geeking out.
Yeah,
Like totally
yeah,
geeking out.
I've experienced similar for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and along with the rookie run is in May. It's actually Mother's Day weekend this year.
Oh, is it?
So my girls are going to do it this year. Okay. And then the Holiday Park actually has a trail run every year in March.
I heard about this.
So they have a 1 mile trail run. And my older daughter did that last year and loved it. She flew. I told her it was going to maybe take her 20 minutes because it's in a trail run. It's like up in, I don't know. I just wanted her to be like, it's okay. Just take your time. She did sub 10-minute mile. Just flew through there. We missed watching her finish because we just didn't think that was going to happen. But she seems to be a natural runner. So I'm kind of like, oh, I hope she likes it.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then my youngest, I took her to a 5K in a stroller last year, and she really didn't want to stay in the stroller, and she ran almost the whole 3 miles.
Are you kidding? See, my kids love the drumstick dash.
Oh yeah.
We do it every year.
That's so
Oliver
fun.
and I do. Alexander hasn't gotten into it, but he has no idea what pacing is. I'm like,
Yeah,
bro,
right, exactly.
slow it down.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, and like I've started to pick out the clothes he wears for the race so that I could just see him ahead.
Oh, good point.
And there's
Yeah.
enough people. It's such a family fun experience. I hope no one kidnaps you, but I'm sure I'll find you, or someone will find me, or like
runners are nice, right?
You, right?
Yeah.
Like, here's my cell phone number. Put it
Yeah.
in your pocket should you forget it and get. That's where I'm at. I'm like, you've got to still have hope in humanity despite what this world is in.
Agreed.
now.
Yeah. It's hard, but agreed. And then also the Monumental Mile in June is great. We've done that as a family for the last probably 5 years.
I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, right. Some people don't realize the other races
Right.
that Monumental does. Yeah, and they just added a 5K to that event too. So now there's like a series of 5Ks you can do.
What? I just think that's so cool.
Yeah.
Is there a dog race too, or like you could?
That you can bring your dog to the Monumental Mile, and there's different waves. So you can do like timed, like competitive. You can do family, which we do, and then you can also do with your dog.
And there was pizza afterwards.
There's pizza. Yeah.
I was like, this is the coolest thing.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's a great event. So anyway, but yeah, we're so lucky that we live in a community that has so many incredible events, so many great clubs to be a part of.
I love Indianapolis.
Just our community is really great.
Yeah,
So
I love it. I love everything about it. I love that, you can go to Noblesville and do a trail there. You could go downtown and see a basketball game or a football game, or like there's nothing this town doesn't allow you to do. And though you might have to pay for parking or at least it's not like in Chicago. I just remember the parking was so stupid.
Right, it's like $100 to park for 3 hours.
You're
or
like,
something
you've
insane.
got to be kidding,
Yeah.
And you can park and you're not stuck in traffic for an hour.
Right.
You literally can be anywhere in 30 minutes. Like,
Yes.
I love Indianapolis. I don't think there's a better place you could live.
Yeah, so for people who are listening who are not from
Come
here,
to Indianapolis.
run
You
all
will
these
love it.
races we've talked about. Yeah, sometimes I wonder, I was like, do we talk too much about local stuff? But then there's so much other stuff woven into everyone's story
Right.
here, and you really can't beat doing an in-person interview.
Right.
And I just find that people overlook Indiana in general.
I geek out about it.
And it's the best.
I'm sure when people ask, if you talk to someone from California, like, why do you live in Indianapolis? You're like,
or I'll be like, have you ever been to Indiana? They'll be like, no.
you're like, oh, you don't know what you're missing.
Right. It's great. Except for, the winter, it has been hard.
Jesus Christ. The fact that it was 70 degrees last week and
Right.
now we're at 19 degrees this morning.
Yeah,
19.
I mean, talk about seasonal depression.
I know.
Like, I don't realize that really affects me until we have a 70-degree day, and I'm like, oh,
This is how life is.
I
Like how I
remember the
feel.
sun.
Yes. I called Sarah and I actually said to her, I'm like, I'm actually getting really excited about grind now that you can
Feel
smell it.
It's so close.
Yeah.
Yes.
The weather is coming.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
until
February
we
is a
get
short month,
snow.
and then
Look at there's flurries.
I know. It's like we're in like a snow globe this morning, which is better than the blizzard that everyone else is getting out east. So
True.
Okay, the other topic that I had for us to discuss, you just mentioned, was going to a basketball game. It seems like you really like local sports, especially the Pacers and the Fever.
Love the Pacers.
So
Yes.
where does that come from?
My boys, they could cure cancer if they knew as much about science as they do basketball. My oldest son can hold grown-up conversations with people about players and years and when they won this and won that. He just
incredible.
And so he became a Pacers fan. Even we what is it? Indy? We go to Indy games too because he goes there for summer camp.
Okay,
and so
yeah.
their players are the coaches, and so we go down there so he could see them play, and he feels like they're movie stars.
Right,
you know,
those are my
right. And I love it because you don't fight for parking. You know, it's a little farther, but like it's not crowded. You can sit wherever you want.
Yeah.
But Pacers games, it just became our thing. They love it. They love basketball, and I love that they love it. I grew up in Chicago, so I grew up with the Bulls.
Oh, yeah, and you grew up during the good time.
Yes, exactly. Our Christmas night was at the Bulls game. That was our Christmas present from my mom. We would have standing row at the game, and we were like giddy about it. Like that was amazing. So to now be ticket holders, you know, we like my privileged little children. I try to remind them all the time, like this
That's hard.
is not real life.
Yeah.
Like my son came home with a B+, and though that is great, I'm like, you kind of need, if that's the best you can do, I get it, but I saw you on Xbox.
Right.
And I know how you spend your
could do
weekend.
better. Yeah.
You could do better, and you need to do better because you get to do all these really cool things.
Yeah.
Especially these Pacers games.
Yeah.
And I love watching basketball now. I've become such a basketball person because of that. There's nothing like a Ben's pretzel at the game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Like I just love it. Yeah.
So I haven't taken my girls to a game, Fever or Pacers. I know, it's bad. We need to go.
See, and now and this is good that I know because we don't get to go to a lot of our games because of the boys' sports and they want to go to their sports.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm always like, who? I
Oh,
called
yeah,
Sarah.
well.
I was like, you a family of 4?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. I'm like, Sarah, you want my tickets? Like,
yeah.
And so, okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that'd
add
be
you
fun.
to my list.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's a night coming up for our school actually at the end of March. So we should probably do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should.
Because they've been, I don't know how many sports, they've been to Purdue football games. My husband's a Boilermaker, so they've been there. Never to a Colts game. Yeah, we got to start getting out. It's now the 4-year-old now she can do it. So that was kind of the kicker there was she wasn't quite able to.
You're starting to enter that sweet spot.
I hope
where
so.
like your kids are going to totally love it and look forward to it, and then it's like the carrot you dangle, in front of them. You know,
We can go to this.
but
Yeah.
you need to be able to do X, Y, and Z for us. You know, like make your bed, which my kids don't do, even though I say that. I'm trying to get them to put their laundry away that I fold and put on their bed. You know,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
I love me a Pacers game.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the music. I love dancing there.
I know. I wanted to ask you about the Jumbotron because I've seen like 800 videos of you on the Jumbotron at a Pacers game. How do you manage to do that every time? You just get up and dance like an idiot, and you're like
dance like an idiot.
Oh, that's the best.
There are times where I think my children are like, "Can you stop?" You know. But then once like we start getting out, now they'll start dancing. They get into it.
Yeah.
But they make me do the legwork. But I'm like, I'm a nut when I go
That's
there.
so
It's
great.
so fun. The music is so good. I mean, I just love the environment of it all. People cheering on. I mean, this year we're not very good. Last year was way more fun to go to.
Yeah.
But this year still it's fun. You know,
Yeah.
your fingers crossed. You know, we get so close and then we fall apart in the fourth quarter and it's so annoying, you know, but I love it. Even last night we couldn't go, and our friends that took our tickets, like they got on the Jumbotron, and I'm like, yes, like
They
you
just must know the
represented.
spot to look. They're like, okay, when in doubt, just look over here.
That crazy girl's gonna be up.
She's gonna be dancing. So
dancing.
That's so great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
good
gosh. Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you the end of the podcast questions
Okay,
now.
go for it.
There's just 2. The first one is, what is your favorite running mantra and or song?
favorite song is Kelly Clarkson. It is. It's Catch My Breath.
That's a good one.
It's just so good. You leave the tempo, the beat to it,
And
all
Kelly
of
Clarkson, I think, is the best singer of
right?
our generation. I mean, she is unbelievable.
I remember when she was on American Idol.
Same.
Do you remember? I remember that.
And what was his name? Justin, the curly hair guy that got runner up. I mean, just think of how Kelly Clarkson has thrived and how talented she is. It's
and
crazy.
just she's killing it still.
Yeah.
You know, like
If not,
still.
like more now than ever.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and what was the song that she did for Trolls recently? I love that one too.
Oh, no, I should know that because
Yeah,
I've heard it
Broken-
a billion
not-
times.
I just love the energy in her when she sings. Like
Yeah.
she's just, and she looks like a real person.
Yeah, and she
right?
can cover anything too. That's what I love. I love listening to her covers of other songs.
I never really watched her show, the Kelly
either.
Clarkson show, but I did try to tune into like, is it the beginning of the monologue or at the end when she would sing a little bit? I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh my gosh,
look,
she's
I'd
just
watch that.
amazing.
Yeah, I get bits of it from social media.
She's got a show now in Vegas. I want to go see that show.
That would be fun.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and then do you have any mantras you use?
I'm going to get it wrong, but it's so true. It's I stopped looking for the light at the end of the tunnel and decided to light that bitch up myself.
That's perfect. Yeah.
That's what I go with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you have to, right?
Yeah.
You find your own joy.
Yeah.
You
Light
make your
that
magic.
bitch up.
Uh-huh. Even on a bad day.
Yeah. Right.
You're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. Okay, and then next finish line and or milestone. So you've got obviously
Grind.
Grind
Grind is it. Yeah.
And so that is again the Backyard Ultra.
Backyard Ultra. Mother's
Yeah,
Day
so I just
weekend.
had Bob Radobush was on this podcast recently too, and he has done Grind from the very beginning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So do you know Bob?
I don't know
You
Bob.
need to know Bob.
Okay.
Do you know Trina Radobush?
Sure don't. I know Brittany, though.
Okay. I don't know.
Arthur.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Matt
Yeah.
Control's fiance.
Yes. Yep.
And so I know her, and I love her.
Yeah. She's amazing.
I joke. I'm like, if I could have Sarah Farney as one, living on one side of me and Brittany on the other side of me, God, how much fun
Yeah.
would it?
Brittany is chaos crewing, and she's made a business.
She
out
just
of it.
went to.
Barclay.
Yes.
Yeah. Barclay is that how you say it? Got it.
Barclay.
I'm like
yeah.
I'm still learning.
She's like sending pictures,
Right.
and I'm like, you get out.
Yeah, really incredible.
Yeah.
Really incredible. Okay, so Grind.
Grind.
And then 50 next year.
Yes.
It's a big milestone.
Yeah. I kind of want to go out to Colorado and do a race with Lindsay out there. Now that
yeah.
now that I know someone who's out there who can be like, this is what you should
Yeah.
expect. Like, I will be green, but someone I know isn't green.
Right,
You know,
can
like,
help.
right.
Yeah.
I want to see what that's like.
I do love the mountains.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about altitude.
Right.
That's the part.
I have gotten sick out there, at altitude before, and so I don't know how that would go for.
When my family skis, I run. So like when we were, I just run. I don't even know what I run. I try to find a trail, and if not, I just run the street real early, and like and just
Out west?
yeah.
Yeah, so then
Yeah.
your altitude seems to be fine.
But there's a lot of stopping
know.
in between, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, this is
Yeah.
different beast.
Yeah, well, I did a race out in Salt Lake City where they bus you up to the top of a mountain.
What?
It was a revel race.
What's that?
It's this series of races. A lot of them are very downhill. They just made a rule last year that none of them can qualify for Boston anymore. So that was my half PR for a long time because you just run down. I mean, gravity helps a lot.
Yeah.
And when I thought to myself, when I go to qualify for Boston, I'm coming back here, but now I can't. Yeah. Anyway, I bought this stuff on Amazon called Acclimate, and it was like a powder thing. And I was like, I don't know if this is working, but it's sure helping like placebo. So, yeah.
What do you think? You want to get to Boston, right?
I do want to get to Boston
What
someday.
course do you think you're going to want to use?
Probably Monumental.
Yeah.
I mean, home course, it's flat and fast.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's anything better from my
really
point of view.
isn't.
Yeah.
No.
I'm also not in a rush. At first, I thought,
You shouldn't be.
I mean, it's just like, I think, talk about the pressure and the joy. I feel like I need to be in a place where I don't kill myself over that or get like put all my sights are set on that. Because if I don't, like, that's fine.
Right.
But I would love to experience it.
Maybe because I'm old now, I will say in 3 to 4 years, when your children are a little older, you will have more freedom.
Yeah.
And that will feel
like the sweet
different.
spot time.
It is.
Yeah.
They need you less. You're less exhausted.
Yeah.
You're
I hope
less.
so.
But you can't beat the toddle, the voice, like
Yeah,
all of that
I
age
know.
right now. I mean, right?
Oh, I'm putting my young one on the bus in August. It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be good as they get older for sure. Well, Angela, thanks so much for doing this with me.
This
It
has
flew
been so
by.
fun. Thank you.
It was so fun.
Yes, this
Yeah,
is so fun.
loved
Thanks
it.
for inviting me. This is cool.
Absolutely.
I've never done one, so
Yeah,
this is
it's
very
perfect.
cool.
This is my favorite.
Thanks.
And thank you to everybody who's listened. And
Yes.
happy running.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode of Finish Lines and Milestones, please share, rate, review. It's a really easy way to support this show. And you also support this show by supporting brands like Relay Active and Amazfit. If you are looking for other shows to add into your running podcast mix, you can go to sandyboyproductions.com to check out the other shows in the network. And thank you again for listening, and I will see you next week. Bye.